Midnight arrived wrapped in cold rain, the kind that soaks into the skin and refuses to leave. Under a flickering streetlight stood Auren, shoulders slumped, wearing a torn brown jacket that once carried the warmth of long kitchen shifts. The rain slid down the fabric, heavy and unforgiving. Beside Auren stood Liora, holding 3 tiny kittens, Miso, Pebble, and Zuri, wrapped carefully inside a thin blue shawl already soaked through. The city slept. Cars passed without slowing. Their cries were swallowed by the storm. That night was not just about rain. It was about being unseen. Earlier that day, Auren had worked from sunrise until night in a small restaurant kitchen. Hands moved nonstop, chopping vegetables, washing greasy pans, scrubbing floors until the smell of soap burned the nose. Feet ached, back hurt, but pride stayed alive. When the shift ended, the owner avoided eye contact and quietly locked the door. No payment, no apology, just silence. Liora waited outside in a faded gray dress, holding leftover vegetables saved carefully from the kitchen trash. Hunger was familiar, but humiliation felt heavier. Rain crept into worn shoes. Miso shivered first. Pebble let out a weak, tired cry. Zuri pressed closer, searching for warmth. Without hesitation, Auren removed the soaked jacket and wrapped it around the kittens. Cold wrapped around Auren instead, biting deep. But love made the decision easy. Comfort mattered more than warmth. They walked through empty streets until legs felt weak. Near an abandoned kitchen shed, they found shelter. Inside stood a rusted stove, broken shelves, and silence thick with memories. Auren stared at the stove for a long moment, remembering the dignity once felt while working honestly. Liora wiped the wet floor using a torn cloth, arranging their small belongings carefully. Even in despair, habits of care refused to disappear. Night passed slowly. The kittens finally slept, breathing softly. Auren stayed awake, listening to the rain, wondering how effort could still feel invisible. Liora sat quietly nearby, holding hope without words. Morning arrived with mist instead of rain. Auren wore a clean shirt saved for moments that still believed in tomorrow. Liora fixed the collar gently, hands shaking from exhaustion. They knocked on doors, not begging, not asking for pity, only offering honest work. Some ignored them, some turned away. Each closed door hurt quietly. Then one kitchen door opened. Warm steam filled the air, the smell of food wrapped around them like comfort. Auren stepped inside, rolling sleeves up, heart heavy but focused. The knife felt familiar again. Vegetables fell into neat pieces. Liora stood at the sink, washing dishes non-stop, water splashing over rolled sleeves. Fingers burned, backs ached, but purpose returned. Miso watched with wide eyes. Pebble slept near warmth, and Zuri smiled softly, feeling safe for the first time in days. That night, payment was small, but honest. Coins rested in Auren's palm like something precious. They rented a tiny room with cracked walls, a dim bulb, and a small stove. Liora cooked simple rice, while Auren cleaned utensils carefully, just like in the kitchen. The kittens ate quietly, then curled together, full and peaceful. Days slowly turned into weeks. Kitchen work became routine again. Burns healed. Confidence returned little by little. Auren earned respect through consistency, never asking for sympathy. Liora learned planning, saving each coin carefully. Miso became playful, Pebble curious, Zuri brave. Love grew silently, stronger than fear. One night, rain returned, loud and heavy, but fear did not return with it. Auren closed the window calmly. Liora wrapped the kittens in warm blankets. Rain was no longer an enemy. It was a reminder of survival. Months later, a small kitchen business began. Auren cooked with passion and honesty. Liora managed orders and customers with quiet strength. The kittens helped clean, learning early that unity builds survival. Neighbors no longer saw struggle, they saw dignity. Care means choosing each other even when life feels unfair. And unity turns abandoned nights into safe homes.